What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about MyNBA. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So we're going to talk about the MyNBA setup options. So first thing is the fantasy draft, which is pretty straightforward. You can turn it on if you want to start the mode with a fantasy draft of all the players instead of having all the players start on teams they've been assigned to in the roster. Then you have customized league rules, which is a new feature. It lets you go through and pick all the rules that the mode will start with without having to wait for the league meetings in the off season, and you're limited to only a 5 rule change per year. So, and then you have the custom roster. You can pick between the official 2K Sports roster, the injury-free roster, or one of the countless custom rosters. Okay, so then you have the customized league where you can realign teams, replace existing teams, or add new classic all-timer custom teams to the league. And something that's new to NBA 2K21 is you can remove teams from the league. So if you want to look more than that, you can. And then the last 3 setup options are the customized salary cap, customized simple settings, and customized advanced settings. And now there's some advanced CBA rules. So when you have these new features that have all been asked for by hardcore members of our community and have greatly enhanced the mode, we decided that it would make sense to give users an easy way to turn all or some of these off if they felt that they made the game too difficult, as many of these rules make signing players, completely trades, and just dealing with team management a lot more complex. So there's that, and then you have the role-playing elements. So you can choose to turn it on and off. You can have conversations, scoring, skills, tasks, and moral and chemistry. The conversations will determine whether or not you have face-to-face conversations with the governor, staff, and players. And then this year you can have these on or off no matter whether you're just controlling one team or up to 36 teams. You can have 36 team control with conversations only for a subset of the teams that you're controlling. So scoring, skills, tasks, and moral and chemistry are all core components of the previous MyGm experience that can be turned on and off as a group or separately. And now about budget and finances. There's some simple options like whether or not the salary cap, hard cap, and luxury tax options are turned on and off, and the price changes and user controlled budgets, which for the last generation were features that we had kept exclusive to the MyGm experience. It didn't allow for MyLeague or MyLeague Online. Okay, then you can play with friends. This option is pretty straightforward, and we are not, just playing with friends online. And then you have the automate off-season time periods. So this is just an easy way to turn off the off-season and have it simulated for users that want to keep playing regular seasons and playoffs without having to deal with the off-season. Okay, and then your start from this one is pretty much like it has in the past. It's worth noting that the start from today won't be available at launch, as there isn't an official start date for the next NBA season yet. However, they did come up with a start date for the NBA season, and they're going to be starting literally December 22nd, which is right around the corner, which is crazy. But anyways, back to this. Then we have G League with playable games. A subset of our franchise fan base has been clamoring for this for years. So they're finally able to bring back playable G League games. If you want to include the G League in your mode, you can leave this option turned on. Otherwise, if you don't care for it, you can just turn it off. Then you have the ranked. And so for ranked, we got us some critical feedback in the early going on. This option that will limit what can be customized because we're still trying to create an experience that allows us to compare players worldwide on a level playing field. So it may still be limited, but they have expanded on things that can be customized compared to last year, so you can tailor it to your liking more than you could before. So there are some new features And one of those new features is a playable G League games, and we already talked about that one. And then we have the revamped boom bust system. So basically what happens is young players in the league will now have a more dynamic growth path using the boom bust system. Players can have a low and high potential on the floor, low and high potential ceilings, and probably to boom, bust, or hit somewhere in between. Okay, now there's new staff. They added an additional assistant coach that you can hire and fire that has an impact on how your players perform, and will also be seen on the bench if you're one of those franchise players that actually goes in and plays games. Okay, there's 2K share setups and 2K share scenarios. And this is if you get the current gen version, 2K21, you'll have some idea of what the latter is about. The 2K share setups is a way for the community to share mode setup options. With all the customization we're adding, we know it can be overwhelming for some, and so on and so forth. So with 2K share scenarios, we wanted to give the community members a way to upload and save progress in their MyNBAs, where they set up different scenarios and challenges for other community members to try and overcome. And now we have tattoos. Yes, tattoos. Everybody wants tattoos, right? This one is one of the new features that isn't exactly a new feature, but regrettably is something they did remove from the game during the last generation of consoles. So they're pleased to announce that the tattoos are finally coming back. So with the tattoo system, it's a lot more advanced than the one from many moons ago, and has a base in the aforementioned My Player tattoo system. So with that, we can proudly say that the Generate player tattoos are now officially back and better. Okay, and then we have the new slide navigation. So it's not really a new feature per se, but it is something that was pushed hard for and something important to the franchise mode, so it gets included here. So they added a new slide nav that you can bring up while anywhere in the mode by simply flipping up on the right stick, so you can quick jump from one menu to the next no matter where you are in the game. And since MyNBA is such a menu driven mode, we think this greatly enhances the user experience. What's new for former GM players? Basically, for starters, you're no longer limited to being the general manager of a single team. You can now choose to GM every single NBA team if that's what your heart desires. And what's more, for the teams you control, it's completely up to you what features are on and off on a team per level. And as touched earlier, we've relaxed a lot of customization restrictions on ranked play, so you can participate in the online leaderboards while still being able to custom rosters and start the league with a fancy draft and a few other things. So what's new for the MyLeague online players? Well, what's new for them is that since the MyLeague online was already MyLeague but online, this is a big addition for former players because you will now be able to play an online league as the GM of the team and have the ability to get tasks that you must complete from the governor, the staff, and the players. And new features include the following: conversations, scoring, leaderboards, skills, and tasks. And just like in the previous sections, the league can be played where each individual user can choose to play with any or all of the features on or off. So what's new for former MyLeague players? Former MyLeague players can now pick and choose whether or not they wish to play with these features. If all they really wanted was the ability to get tasks from the governor, staff, and players, but not have to deal with the loading into the text-based conversations, they can do that now. And if they wanted was the ability to deal with setting ticket and vendor prices and set team budgets while not dealing with things like tasks and conversations, that's also available. So that's all for this. So I hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope that everything was pretty cool and straight to the point. I know I kind of stutter a lot and my nose was kind of stuffy, but that is okay, because we're learning, we're trying to figure things out. So I hope y'all have a great day. Stay blessed, don't stress, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.